Alrighty guys, we're back for Gruul Elves, and this is a Foundation standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We got all four Elvish Archdruid, 3 mana, 2/2 other elf creatures you control get +1/+1, but then also you can tap this to add a green mana for each elf you control, which of course could get out of hand. We're going to use that excessive amount of ramp to cast things like Genesis Wave. This is an X and triple green sorcery speed. Reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of permanent cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into your graveyard. That seems pretty cool, and I don't think it's going to be unheard of to drop like X's 4 on this or more, especially if the Archdruid actually gets to stick around. Do have ways to go a bit wide with elves in here, like this Dwynen's Elite. Something like that. I think I might have pronounced that right. Maybe. It's a 2 mana, 2/2 elf warrior. When it enters, if you control an elf, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Nice. 2 elves for the price of 1. Hopefully we control that other elf. Check this out, guys. Llanowar Elves, back in standard. It's a 1 mana 1/1. You can tap it for a green source. Beautiful stuff. You know what sounds good? A turn 2 Elvish Archdruid. But we also have another 3-drop that we wouldn't mind dropping on turn 2. Imperious Perfect, for example, is a 3 mana 2/2. Other elves you control get +1/+1. Okie dokies. And then you could pay a green, tap it, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Beautiful stuff. That's not the last of the boosts that the elves get in this deck, though. We get more boosts from Leaf-Crowned Visionary. Holy cow. So 2 mana 1/1 other elves you control get +1/+1. And then whenever you cast an elf spell, you may pay a green mana. If you do, draw a card. And all that extra ramp on the Elvish Archdruid, being able to draw a card off the Visionary and just keep playing elves, that just seems absolutely disgusting, huh? Do you have other ramp packed in with a 1 lonely Llanowar Loamspeaker? Should this be more? Maybe, because we would not mind the mana fixing for our top end. Enduring Courage, the most powerful of all the elves. No, actually, it's a Dog Glimmer. Why is it in here? Well, it's a 4 mana 3/3. Whenever another creature you control enters, it gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Of course, it has the enduring ability at the bottom that I'm actually not going to go over right now. So our hope then is to just spam out a whole bunch of elves on the same turn, giving them haste and +2/+0. And if you have Enduring Courage on the Genesis Wave, or you go Genesis Wave for X's 4, you could hit the Enduring Courage with that ability as well. It seems pretty disgusting, honestly. I think it's going to be the perfect top end in here. It's not the only way to give haste to our creatures. We also have a couple of Bitter Reunions, which would not be bad just to help us trade out some of the lands. If we're flooding, for example, it wouldn't be bad to put lands into the grave because we have a couple Worldsoul's Rage also working pretty well with excessive ramp like the Archdruid. Also, a couple Primal Mights. This is back too, guys. Actually, looks like we had this in M21. That's pretty funny. This is a X and a green sorcery speed. Target creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn. Then it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. This could be your removal of choice easily. And keep an eye on everything from Foundations, guys, because obviously I didn't want to craft any of these rares from the new set if I already had them in the past. In the mana base, we got all 4 commercial districts. The Surveil 1 should come in handy, especially since we're rocking Worldsoul's Rage. Also, all of the Verge, too. These are kind of acting as our red source until, of course, we have a forest on the board, or the commercial district works well with the Verge, too. Early land, Copperline Gorge, and early land with the Cavern of Souls as a 3 of. Calling Elf more often than not. I guess every now and then you might call Dog, just to get around some counter spells. Honorable mentions. Thought about Impact Tremors, not this time around. Wildborn Preserver seems like a pretty good elf. We also have this Iconoclast that works well in Gruul Elves. Definitely something to consider. This top-end Gilt Leaf Dane, something like that. This is also an elf to keep your eye on. And then I also consider just normal mountains and Fabled Passage, because Fabled Passage also works well with Worldsoul's Rage, but not this time around, as we need a lot of green sources. Woo, buddy, that was a lot of stuff to go over. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, Let's go ahead and take this into some ranked and see how we do. All right, right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I have no idea. Geez. We'll see, huh? Ooh, I like this starting hand, I know that much. We're keeping this. Opponent goes first, unfortunately. Of course, this would be much, much better to go first with. All right. Llanowar Elves, will you survive the turn? All right. Llanowar Elves survives the turn. Go right into Archdruid, I guess. Another Llanowar Elves and the Leaf Crowned Visionary could be good for the turn too, but just getting the Archdruid down and ready. It's not like it has haste, so... Or haste yet, I should say, huh? Innkeeper's Talent, the Honor Guard, the Ward, Ethereal Armor. Okay. We're in danger, bro. We're gonna take the 6 here. Definitely don't want to chump with the Archdruid. Ooh, another Archdruid. Well, all of our 1-drops are essentially free. So we'll get those down. I don't think the opponent plans on wiping the board anytime soon. 1, 2, we still have everything in our hand. Oh no, we don't. That's okay though. This totally works. What a turn, dude. What a turn. And we will draw off the Leaf Crowned. Genesis Wave. Oh, buddy. Oh my goodness, dude. Okay, first of all, we're going to have to chump this turn, I would say. Also, the opponent wants to... Ooh, it's not removal, guys. I'm going to say, if it's Sheltered by Ghost, they want to pick up one of these Archdruids for sure. We could take the 9 down to 5. I'm okay with that. Ow. I plan on winning this turn. That's the plan. We're going to try to get some haste. Well, they get to copy the Ethereal Armor. We probably should have jumped. Let's see. 12. And we go... we play this first, right? No, opponent, come back. No, I know. I understand. But boy, oh boy, do I want to play this out so bad. So, of course, the Imperious Perfect was going to come down. And then each Archdruid was going to tap for an additional one. So we could tap each of those for 14 total mana. Then the Llanowar Elves, 16 total mana. I guess we could also tap Stalwart and Visionary too if we wanted to for 17. So, or at that point, we'd want to tap the Perfect that we just played. I guess we could use the double Llanowar Elves to get the Elite down, because that's 2 more Elves. So each of these would have tapped for 9. Okay, that makes sense then, right? That we would tap those. X is 15 on the Genesis Wave, or 16 if we wanted to use the Stalwart too. 16 cards off the top probably means we would have hit one of our hasty things. Now, also, guys, they were just at 20. We were about to buff this wide elf board state where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elves on the board, all getting a boost, and they only had 1 blocker. So, I mean, that wouldn't have stopped me from just casting the Genesis anyways. I thought we'd go over at the end just to see how excessive that actually would have been. How cool is that, man? What a great first game. Oh, man. Now, if we were up against something that we were thinking they were going to have like a board wipe, I think we would have played that out a little differently. Triple Llanowar Elves. I see no problems with this hand. I see no problems at all. Get ready for the Perfect. Oh, it's a swamp. Goodbye, Llanowar Elves. This time you did not survive. Okay, Archdruid, that's a good draw. Well, how about 2 Llanowar Elves, huh, opponent? What you got for that? Did you know I'm playing 8 Llanowar Elves in here? Deep Cavern Bat, you get out of my hand! It's the Archdruid for sure, bro. For sure, yeah. Alright, let's do... I guess it's not worth dumping the hand, is it? It is worth dumping the hand, actually. Because Golgari Colors is a few turns away from hitting board wipes. So if we can go wide and still boost with the other perfect that's in hand, it could be a double Deep Cavern Bat, first of all, or something else that has us discard here. Hey, Llanowar Elves, what are you doing over there? Swing with bat, because they don't plan on blocking. 2 mana opens, probably instant speed spot removal. For one of the perfects at that point. We don't mind seeing the mana. Yeah, because then we get a nice, clean, wide swing. I can only imagine it's like a go for the throat. Go for the throat. What? They're going to keep the Llanowar Loamspeakers. Or Llanowar Elves. Wow. I mean, after all this time playing with the Loamspeakers, I guess I got to get used to Llanowar Elves. They're saying that instead, right? Uh-oh, more mana. That's not great. Probably still a full swing. We could consider this ability, guys. We could. They don't know what's in hand. I guess going wide with elves off the perfect is better than getting an excess 2 through. Or an extra 2 through, I should say. Could do that on their turn as well. They give us the Archdruid back. Guys, we actually might need to play around the Deadly Cover-Up now. I'm actually going to keep that in hand as well. We're just going to go for the Imperious Perfect for the turn. This is me completely playing around the Deadly Cover-Up and hoping that that's going to be enough. Because if we just had Archdruid, if we lose 4 cards for the price of their 1 card, we're going to be in danger regardless. Still, it feels like we'd be playing right into it if we just dropped the Archdruid for the turn. Oh, Sunslayer. That's pretty good. And that's not a Deadly Cover-Up. We got 2 mana open. All right, let's activate this. Not playing the Gorge was me playing around a Liliana as well. But I think they still would have went -2 on Liliana anyways. Okay. Worldsoul's Rage isn't bad. But we're still just going to buff everything. And still just going to go for the swing then, right? We go swing, swing. They got 2 open here, guys. They got 2 blocks. 9 will get through. Worldsoul's Rage might clean it up next turn. Glisa gets a nice clean. Yeah, we just full swing. We just go for it. Block and a chump. Actually, a forced chump there, guys. No, not a forced chump. Never mind. Wait. I see how that ended up working. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if they wipe the board this time, right? We'll see how much this Worldsoul's Rage can pull off. Guys, swinging with the Perfect was actually pretty bad because Sunslayer has first strike, so they were able to pop it before the rest of the damage got through. So keeping that back and just keeping it on the board could have been really good. Deadly Cover-Up right on time, guys. We're in danger, for real. They're probably going to hit the Archdruid. They sure do. It's a good hit, however, we're in danger regardless here. They now know we have Worldsoul's Rage in hand. Which would be okay if we still had some of that ramp on the board. Overlord's about to flip. Did I cost us the game by swinging with that Perfect? Because it would have been an extra 3 damage going through, right? Oh, I guess they would have... No, they still could have chumped. But we have 2 on the Worldsoul's Rage, and we're just going to play the Stalwart and hope that they don't drop a Liliana. I think their Liliana would be a plus to get this Worldsoul's Rage out of our hand. We're in danger. Deadly Cover-Up. Why couldn't you hide in the opponent's deck? You didn't have to be there. Huh? What are you doing? Ritual Chamber, they get a 6/6 here. That does make a lot of sense, actually. Enduring Courage. Right. So, we play the Courage. We try to survive next turn. And if we see mana off the top, X will be 4. Which isn't bad. But also creatures off the top. I think we'll survive this turn, first of all. Because the opponent's going to want to keep these blockers, especially since we have Enduring Courage. Oh, they're going back up to 7 here, guys. They do unlock the Unholy Annex. And since they have the Demon, they're going to draw. We could chump with the Courage. It comes back as an enchantment. Not worth it. We'd rather have the extra swing on a creature. It's mana, but it's a Surveil land, which we definitely do because we could Surveil more mana into the grave. Another Perfect. Oh, guys, I feel like I could have played this one so much better. Oh, no. This poor deck list. Yeah, we're going to get picked apart here by Value Golgari at the end. Because they got 6 in the air next turn. Oh, this is it, actually, isn't it? That's it. 6 in the air and then 2 on the Annex. Unless for some reason... Well, X would still only be 2 if I'm swinging. Yeah, since we're dead regardless, we go for the full swing. They block the Courage. We do get that 1 through, which isn't bad. Courage comes back. And we can just go X's 2, sorcery speed anyways. They drop the GGs. It was, in fact, a good game. Our elves really doing the thing, huh? So much so, yeah, I mean... If I would have played that out a little bit more cautiously, knowing what was about to come, I think we could have gotten there, potentially. I do. Oh, look what they ended up playing, guys. Doubling season. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder what else was in the opponent's build then. That's very... yeah, what else was in the opponent's build? What was exiled over here? Deep Cavern Bat. Llanowar Elves. So if an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of those tokens instead. If an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, maybe it was an Innkeeper's Golgari deck list? Question mark? I'm not 100% certain, but that's an interesting pick. Probably just like a one of on their top end at that point. All right, guys, building confidence with the deck list. I think we could easily get some more victories today. Bad hand. Definitely. We go first. Mulligan. Yeah. Yeah, oh, much better. Okay. We don't have the double red for Courage. I think we just send the Courage. Triple mana. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Because with the other forest, we still have the turn 2 Archdruid. Healer's Hawk. Huh. Elvish Archdruid. Alright, let's see any amount of elves off the top. Another Healer's Hawk. Worldsoul's Rage. Probably get that Surveil for the turn then. I think any elf on top. Yeah, I think that's what we want. And we'll swing for 6. See what they do with this Healer's Hawk. It wasn't an Elspeth Smite. That's very important. Definitely worth the swing, depending on what you're up against, right? Since it was double Healer's Hawk, it didn't feel like Selesnya control or mid-range, so... That doesn't mean that they're not rocking Elspeth Smite. It just kind of means, like, we're a little bit safer. Yeah, so what we end up doing here is Stalwart, then pay to draw on the Leaf Crowned Visionary. Outside of that, Worldsoul's Rage could be an option. Botanical Brawler, okay. So let's play the Stalwart, and also puts the Archdruid to a 4. We will pay this. Another Stalwart. They trade here for sure. Probably get the 6 through again. 1, 2. We'll have X is 4 on the Rage, but I would say, or X is 5 if we want to do it that way too. I think we play the Forest and we do that again. Just keep going wide. This is very likely going to be a deck list. I don't know if they even accept that trade. I think they might, so we're just going to swing with the 3/3s. All right, wasn't a Snakeskin Veil or anything fancy. Would have been a pretty good trade for the opponent into an Archdruid if it was something that buffed the Brawler. A Johnny. Hi. We don't get to see this very often. So it's very much Selesnya counters. Healer Hawk must be in here as Healer Hawk's terrific for the opponent. They gotta be careful. Looks like they are choosing to be a little careful. No, actually, because Vigilance, guys. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 3 target creatures, and they gain Vigilance until end of turn. Could double block the Brawler. We only lose 1 of them. If these were tapping down, I would not double block here. I would go for the full swing. We lose 1, we keep 1. Healer Hawks are getting through, and we don't have flying. They go back up to 15. A great one for the opponent, guys. That was really good. No, opponent, come back. One of these days, man. One of these days, we'll be able to get a victory where we actually get to complete the victory. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I would have loved to play that out. I mean, technically, did we have lethal yet? I don't know. I guess I should have stuck around that game and actually mathed out what we had available to us. Because boosting the elf board state still probably would have been better than dropping the Worldsoul's Rage there, right? So, wow. I'm keeping this. Uh-oh, Llanowar Elves. I almost said Loamspeaker again, guys. I don't know how often I'm actually going to do that. I don't think this survives the turn. That's not going to stop me from trying. Yep, not going to stop me. We might go Commercial District into Stalwart. And start with the Surveil then, right? Genesis Wave. Yep. Surveil and Stalwart for the turn. I think we pretty much... We keep any elves we see, right? I don't know if there's a situation where we'd want to send the perfect. I'm not surprised by 2 turns in a row of spot removal, and I won't be surprised by the 3rd turn in a row of spot removal. So I'm thinking we're gonna go Bitter Reunion too, because this could also be a counterspell. Okay. And then we'll send one of the forests. I don't think we need that much, and then we can always bring it back with a Worldsoul's Rage eventually too. Okay, no 1-drop, that's okay. At least we've kind of restocked our hand here. And now if we do see a 4th, we have a couple 2 mana cards to play into as well. There's your map. Okay. It is going to be mana, that's beautiful. We can start with the Loamspeaker. The Elite, Dwynen's Elite, or something like that. Yeah, Dwynen's. Go for the throw on the Loamspeaker so we don't get the extra 1/1. At least one of these elves are sticking around, right? So 3 pieces of spot removal out of the opponent's deck list. And yes, we still have to think that there's going to be more. So Archdruid, we have X's 1 on the wave. That's pretty bad. If we had 2 elves on the board, I'd consider giving haste to the Archdruid to tap it for 3 to play the other Archdruid. It's Archdruid for the turn this time around since we have the other one in hand too. Gonna draw 2, then discard a card, guys, so they get to replace the 3 steps ahead. I still have 2 cards in hand. We are in danger, but we do get a swing. Oh, you know what we should have done? We probably should have swung first. I'm pretty positive they would have kept the 3 steps ahead open still. But you never know. They might have spent their mana to get rid of the elite or something instead. Really doubt that. All right, more mana. I don't mind seeing it. So we can get done here. Okay. Give haste, tap Archdruid, play perfect. What's the odds of another deadly cover-up ruining our evening? I don't know. Against a mirror? Probably pretty good. Also, guys, in that last turn, Archdruid actually affects the combat. They do go for the throw on the Archdruid, perfect landing, and still getting 3. So playing the Archdruid before combat on the turn prior still made sense, because if it actually landed, we would have gotten an extra 1 damage through. So that's their first counter on the treasure map, guys. Jace probably goes plus here on the elite, maybe. Yeah. Oh, it's just land. All right, guys. So first of all, they're going to start activating this map token. But do we go Genesis Wave for 2? We see X is 2. We have a lot of top end, guys. We have a lot of 3 drops. 4 drops are the doggies. I think we might want to just continue to go wide. Activate the perfect next turn, because we're going to want to try to take out this Jace when it comes time. You got to tap the perfect to do that. And we want to wait as long as possible to do that too, I would say. I don't know, man. Let's see what they draw. They do get to scry on the treasure map. They send 1 to the bottom. Doomsday Excruciator. That's game. GG opponent. Wow. That was a draw and a half, huh? Holy cow. All right. Well, I guess we don't know how many of each of those they have in there. But that's pretty brutal, man. That's pretty brutal. I think that could have gone either way. Oh, man. No, seriously. I mean, anything that they drew there would have been better than them just winning that turn. So, like another spot removal. Okay, that's totally fine, right? We're about to get another 1/1 elf down anyways. Swinging at that Jace wouldn't have helped anything. We only had 2 damage on the board to do that. Them having spot removal before our elite elf landed meant no extra 1/1. If we actually pulled off that extra 1/1, I think that would have been a different game too. There was a lot going on there that really just leaned it to the favor of the opponent there. We go first. A really good hand, right? I think so. Now the Loamspeaker, only a 1 of in here, as we're opting for more elites. But you know what? I really like Loamspeaker being in this hand. We'll see how much its extra ramp and mana fixing actually does for us in this game. We get to keep the Stalwart around. Opponent! How dare! Well, that ruins our elite turn. That doesn't... I mean, that doesn't hold us up too much, though, because we still have the Loamspeaker then. Verge is just a red source for this game. Luckily, we have a Cavern of Souls in hand, too. For more green sources, then. Loamspeaker, get down! Get down, run! Ah! It's alive! Oh, man. All right. Cavern Elf. Well, now we take the turn, huh? They tapped out. Now we take the turn. We play everything. A very good draw here with the Leaf Crowned Visionary, which we can play in any order since we didn't have the extra green to use the Leaf Crowned ability. Yeah, going wide here when we have a couple perfects in hand. And no blocks. It's going to hurt, but it's going to hurt regardless of whether or not we block, so. Monstrous Rage. It's going to be 9 damage for the turn, down to 10. So, ooh. Worldsoul's Rage is interesting, guys, because we do have an option to actually use it as a bit of removal here. Because we could easily die next turn, right? Or we could just buff the board and go for a good old chunky swing. We have X's 2, we take out the Slick Shot Show Off, and we still have blockers on the ground then. We could still die, even if we do take out the Show Off. I'm going for the fun thing here. Let's do this. And actually going to decline too. As I think a 3/5 blocks well on the ground if they do find something else. That could also help us survive. Everything else though is swinging in. As hopefully we now have them on a clock. That's the goal. So instead of opting for survival, we opted for potential survival by keeping a 3/5 as a blocker. I think we could still easily die here. Even if we removed the Slick Shot Show Off, that would have been our whole turn. We would have tapped down the Loamspeaker, and our elves wouldn't have been extra boosted too. And we wouldn't have started the clock on the opponent too. So a lot of decisions to make there, actually. Double Strike on the mouse. That should probably be it. Wow, that's definitely it. They see a Monstrous Rage off the Ember Challenger. Wow. Actually forced to double block, which is horrible, right? If we block once, yeah, the Show Off gets that super boost. It'll be an extra 5 in the air. Yeah, we're forced to double block because of the double strike. They go ahead and they boost on the ground because the double strike will take care of both of these. We're taking 6. So we actually survive the turn, but we lose 2 of our creatures. The perfect is gone. We're taking 7, actually. Okay. I miscounted. Copperline Gorge is not what we're looking for. Especially since it comes out tapped. Now we only have X's 1 on the Worldsoul's Rage now that we lost the Loamspeaker. And that blocker really came in handy, didn't it? I would say 3 cards in the opponent's hand. If we keep all the blockers on the ground, they're still going to give double strike to the challenger again anyway, so we just go for the swing. It's fun. It's more fun that way, right? They could trump the elite here and take 5, or they can just take the 9. We'll drop them that GG. I'll tell you what, guys, I feel like these matches could really go either way, huh? I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with how this list has been performing. Worldsoul's Rage has been particularly bad, though. I would maybe consider just going down to one of these and maybe opting for more burn. But that depends. It depends what you're up against. You can block the Manifold Mouse. Questing Druid. See what else they had in there. Innkeeper's Talent made the cut. I wonder if they had any new cards. I'm trying to think what belongs in Gruul. 34 minutes in, guys. Totally have time for one more, and I think we can totally end on a high note as well. I kind of forget if I brought this up already. So I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but while I have you here towards the end of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like, and if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well because it really does help out the channel, so thank you, thank you. All right, we go first. Let's do this. I want to see this Enduring Courage do more on the top end here. As you guys can see, it's very hard to keep important creatures on the board. So deck lists like this, I guess, should usually be called janky in the current standard, but realistically, we don't know where standard's going to settle this close to a new set release. Do we just like take the turn to actually get the extra 1/1 before the opponent untaps and has spot removal? Yes. Yes, we do. Because Leaf Crowned Visionary can be a bit of a surprise for this wide board state. Okay. All right, I don't mind seeing that. 4th mana. The only mana fixing we have right now is on the Stalwart because we called Elf on the Cavern. One, two. If we keep it, I'm afraid that we're gonna lose the Stalwart, guys. Instead of swinging here, we are gonna go into the Perfect. I hope it's not a temporary lockdown style build. 3rd mana. Unholy Annex style build. Okay, so we kept that 4th mana so that way we can just dump the Leaf Crown onto the board and go for a huge swing here. And I hope that's okay. I hope that's okay. We are gonna decline that, even though it would be pretty decent to draw. It would also be alright if we knew for certain that they weren't gonna drop a board wipe. It would be alright to activate that Perfect ability too, maybe. GG opponent, there we go, guys. Alright, so Elves went fast enough there. Climbing back up to Platinum Tier 3. That's good because we lost that rank in this video, right? Oh man, sometimes the rank is back and forth for a very long time, huh? Geological Appraiser. Oh, that's nice. 37 minutes in, guys. Oh man, I want to end on that high note. I do, but I'm having a freaking ball. One more. Let's push it. Let's push it. Little overtime. Little overtime isn't going to hurt anything. Win or lose, I'm satisfied, dude. I think there's potentially a way to actually put elves together. Is Gruul Elves the way to do it? I don't know. Maybe. I want to see this Enduring Courage do a little more. Like, when we're splashing red in the mana base, we got, what, 12 dual lands packed in? As well as some mana fixers, too. Opponent goes first, we can do much better. I've been stunned by this. Let's keep it and send the Genesis Wave, which breaks my heart, but it's not going to do too much with this hand. So Verge is just a red source for a while, guys. We're hoping for a lot. Bitter Reunion's not bad. Get the Verge down first. And probably call Elf on Cavern and get the Loamspeaker down. Oh. Why did I do that? Call Elf turn 1 Stalwart down. Why did I not play the Stalwart guy? I don't know what I was thinking. They just go for the Boros Charm. We're up against Boros Burn probably, guys, especially with the Hired Claw here. Call Elf on Loamspeaker. Awkwardly think about my past decisions about not playing the Stalwart on turn 1. Which could be really, really bad. Luckily, that's only if we had excess creatures on the board too to tap down, so it's not like you want to tap Loamspeaker for that because Loamspeaker does that in and of itself. But with the Elite or something tapping down that token, of course, that could really come in handy. Gonna go no blocks because Ramp's more important if they drop a Monstrous Rage or something. It's gonna go for the Hired Claw ability. Still could be a Monstrous Rage. Or burn at that point too. See if it is Boros burn. They could have had a shock equivalent. Speaking of shock equivalent, I love seeing the Archdruid here. But there's no way it survives. So we're going to start with Stalwart. Then we're going to go wide with Elite. And mana off the top could be decent. Could be if we keep Loamspeaker or Stalwart around. It's going to be a shock down to 9. That's scary, dude. If they play mana, we could die this turn easily. So Hired Claw. Go for the swing. They have the Hired Claw ability, and we should probably chump, but man. Really don't like losing our elves here, but we should chump because they have that ability to boost the claw. We can't take another 3 down to 4. We can't do that yet, you know? So Archdruid's around, but also we could get the Enduring Courage down for the turn. We'd have 1 more mana. We boost our board state with the Leaf Crown first. We'll still have a Bitter Reunion. Could start with Bitter Reunion. My apologies, opponent. I am thinking, buddy. You have definitely put me between a rock and a hard place here. If we had another 1-drop, it would probably be Archdruid into that 1-drop. There's the big problem, of course. Okay. Maybe we start with Bitter Reunion. No, it's Elvish Archdruid. If it survives, and we survive for some reason, then we have incredible ramp for next turn. We can't attack here. If we had more mana, they go Burst Lightning to our face. I think they have lethal, guys. I think they have lethal. They're hitting us for 4. We'll wait. Yeah, Hired Claw ability activates twice here. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was going to activate twice for each Hired Claw. Lightning Helix. GG opponent. Boros Burn, huh? That should be pretty sick. That's one to keep your eye on. Boros has a bunch of options right now. Boros Burn, of course, with Boros Charm, has a top ability here. Deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. That's going to be gross. And look, not only are they rocking Burst Lightning, but they have Shock in here too. I wonder if Shock is just a 5th Burst Lightning, or if they have 4 of each of them packed in. With a Lightning Helix, they probably got Lightning Strike in there as a 4 of as well. Outside of that, opting for creatures that just poke damage through without actually having to get through. That's scary, dude. That's a scary deck list. That could really be something. Speaking of really being something, what do you guys think about these Gruul Elves? Let's go over the deck list again. All right. Here it is, first of all. Genesis Wave as a 3 of. Yeah. I could see it being a 2 of as well. I could totally see that. Oh, guys, first of all, put it on the Do Not Craft list. I'm going to say this, hopefully, for every video for the next week, if I remember. Put everything on the Do Not Craft list. All of it, guys. No one knows where the meta is going to settle. So it would be a shame to craft up a deck list that you're really excited for, then the meta settles and it's just like anti that deck list. You know what I mean? So today, you know, Elves, we were really doing the thing, but we're up against a lot of spot removal, and a lot of that spot removal is thanks to the just super aggressive deck lists that we're seeing as well. Can the Elves keep up with those super aggressive deck lists? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. It's gonna be tricky for Elves to pull through, but at that being said, I'm being a little bit too hard on the deck list too. There's definitely a lot of just terrific synergies here and really powerful creatures too. The Elvish Archdruid, such a great build around, of course. When you're rocking Elves, boosting the Elves, that's one thing, but then also going for that ramp and that excessive ramp when you are actually pulling it off. Genesis Wave, Worldsoul's Rage, and Primal Might all really helping you get there. Primal Might is one of those things too, where you take out the opponent's main chump blocker, all while boosting one of your elves that you're about to swing with. Just seems excellent. I think I would keep both of these. Guys, I think I brought this up at the beginning, but you can see that I got this from M21. So be very careful with all the foundation cards. There's a lot of reprints. Make sure you look at your collection before you craft anything. Like when I put this at the bottom in the description, when I put the list there, and when I put it over on Aether Hub too, I don't think I'm going to take the time to switch this to the newest version. I'm going to keep whatever version I played with. Just always keep an eye out on any deck list that you're thinking about copying and stuff. Just watch out, all right? Foundations has so many reprints, and it's kind of hard to tell what's in your collection. You kind of have to go out of your way a little bit. Hopefully they make that a little bit easier to tell what all you have, because if you go up here and you sort it by foundations, all of a sudden all the old versions of those cards, like if I go to Primal Might, for example, nothing. I apparently own no Primal Mights, and that's because I sorted it by foundation. So if I get rid of foundations, boom, there's my Primal Mights and a couple different versions of them. And actually, we can't even see, you have to go to not collected to see the foundations version. So it's kind of a mess, honestly. I don't really like how they did that, but maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm complaining for nothing. Anyways, guys, yeah, just keep your eye out when you're crafting stuff from foundations regardless. Guys, I like this elite card, but actually it didn't do as much as I thought it would today. You know, 2 elves for the price of 1 seems like it should be good, but you need another elf on the board by some miracle. And that means running into the opponent's cut downs and go for the throats a few turns in a row just makes the elite pretty bad, actually, I would say. I think we might actually want to just opt for more Loamspeakers. That way we're more consistently getting to that top end, like the Enduring Courage, which was actually pretty greedy to my surprise. The double red here, 12 red sources in the mana base, didn't feel like enough. Loamspeaker helping us mana fix into it, as well as the Stalwart too. Outside of that, Archdruid only tapping for green. Llanowar Elves only tapping for green. Hold up, guys. I don't like how I arranged that. Let me look at this again. Okay. I could see dropping a Worldsoul's Rage. Boy, it underperformed today. Even with the Surveil lands, putting extra land into the grave. Bitter Reunion potentially putting extra land into the grave. Genesis Wave potentially putting extra land into the grave. The Worldsoul's Rage just underperformed, and more often than not, you're probably just going to want more burn. But for what I saw today, I just want more ramp, dude, and more mana fixing too. Loamspeaker has been my friend ever since it came out. So Loamspeaker, you are now a 2 of. That's what I'm going to go up, and I think that's fine and dandy. Again, I don't like how I'm rearranging these. There we go. We could kind of look at the curve here a little bit better. And when you are looking at this as a curve, like Worldsoul's Rage is obviously going to be a top end. Genesis Wave is obviously going to be a top end too. Wow, I guess I could have just moved him over here, huh? If I was going to rearrange like this. Outside of that, Primal Might. I mean, X can be 0, so it could just be 1 green, right? I don't know where Primal Might usually lands. Primal Might X is 3? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not really sure. And this could, again, be your removal of choice, too. Maybe we just want more burn. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. It was really easy to get a nice, chunky elf board state after we actually got to keep some of the elves around. It's really easy to boost it on up because Perfect, Archdruid, and the Leaf Crown Visionary all boosting our elf board state, which is another reason why, even though I said the elite seemed pretty bad today, I'm still keeping all 4 of them because going wide with elves is going to be important, and I think more testing required on this guy. Also, it's just a common, so that's pretty sick too. I definitely like some value commons. And the Llanowar Elves is also a common. That's always nice, right? I mean, if they made that rare, that would just be unfair at that point. And the Stalwart's common too. You know what? I'm going to arrange these real quick. Hold on. Let me take a look here. Primal Might's rare. Leaf Crown Visionary's rare. Loamspeaker's rare. And here's our commons. Even Bitter Reunion's a common. That's neat. Archdruid is rare. The Perfect is actually just uncommon. And then the Enduring Courage is rare. Genesis Wave is... Genesis Wave is rare. That was hard to say. Worldsoul's Rage is also rare. And then, of course, the dual lands too, but you can always use dual lands in other deck lists as well. I think I agree with the triple Cavern of Souls, and I think there's actually going to be more games than you would expect where you actually call Doggy on the Cavern of Souls. What do you guys think? I think so. Yeah. Especially since the double red did seem a little greedy at times. Anyways, that's still a huge chunk of rares, even though I was kind of interested to see how many commons there were. There might be a budget way to put elves together at some point. The problem is losing the Archdruid and the Leaf-Crowned Visionary. That's probably a no-go, huh? I wonder if we could make this more consistent if we just go mono green. I wonder if we can add more value if we go Golgari or something, right? Glissa making the cut and whatnot. Yeah. But no, I'm actually really glad we went Gruul instead, because this is a really neat version of elves, I would say. And thank you for the suggestion again over in the Discord. I appreciate all of your guys' suggestions, even though some of them fall through the cracks. Speaking of falling through the cracks, usually what ends up happening is we have to skip a lot of suggestions around the time when a new set is about to release. But I will never skip a patron suggestion, so there's a great reason to join that up, I guess. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? You made it this far into the video for real. Y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck list as much as I did, even though I think we lost more than we won, right? Or maybe it was somewhere around a 50%. Still had a freaking blast with it, though. All right, guys. Hey, I will see you in the next video.